Hello, my name is Mary Achibong, and today I'll be looking at the skills we should look out for when hiring a new staff. And I will be sharing from my own personal opinion. So for me, when I am interviewing new staff for a position, I take into consideration the fact that they are going to be working with lives. They're going to be working with people that have blood flowing in their veins. They're going to be working with other people's children. And if sometimes they get to work with their own children. So the things I look out for, apart from your basic qualification, your BSc, your BEd, your PGD, here are some of the things I look out for. One, I take into consideration if you're a caring and a kind person, because you cannot give what you do not have. How will I entrust into your care children, and then you are not kind, you are unkind? There was a time we saw a viral video of a woman slapping and slapping a child, a 3-year-old boy, because he could not write number 6. Now, that person was an unkind person. She is an unkind person, actually. So, one of the things I look out for when I'm interviewing, I look at if you're considerate and if you're caring and kind. Another thing is, I look at the level at which you pay attention to details. I remember there was a time I was on a resource panel interview board, and we needed to employ some people for a school. So while we were ready for the interview, I deliberately got one chair and I put it somewhere else that it was going to be very noticeable. Now, out of all the about 12 people we interviewed, it was just one or three people, I think about three people, I can't remember, it's a few years now, that recognized that that chair was not in the right place and picked it up and just kept it. And for one, I think one in particular was asking like, will I can I put this thing where do I do this, what do I do to this? So as a teacher, especially if you're going to be working with children, as a person working with children, you need to pay attention to details. Now, that's one thing I also look out for, attention to details. Now, the third thing I look out for is your communication. How well can you communicate with the children? If you're passing learning to these children, how well can you communicate to them? How well can you communicate with your fellow staff? How well can you communicate with the parents? Are you going to be more of a fighter, or you're going to be a listener? So while I'm interviewing you, I'm picking out some subtle points from your conversation. I'm looking at your tenses, I'm looking at your diction, I'm looking at your presentation, I'm looking at your total outlook while you're doing that. Now, the last one also, I try to look, if you are, I don't know, sometimes we might not really get it, but you would know a happy person by the person's outlook. Now, there's some people, they are bitter, they are broken, they are damaged. Such people should not be given, children should not be entrusted in those people's care. So for me, I look at that also. If you come into the interview room and you're all frowning, you're full of frowns, and what is the problem? I look at them like, okay, is this what the children are going to be? How will you make the children comfortable under your learning? So these four things are the things I actually look out for after I've checked out your qualifications and all the things you have. Now, dear leaders, if you like to share with me what you look out for also when you interview, I'll be reading. Thank you.